This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News, presidential hopefuls tour NDSU. The Final Four visit the campus they hope to serve.
A college for clipping. We'll show you one Campus News reporter's Barber school makeover.
Biking for bragging rights. See who came out ahead in this year's UND-NDSU bike race.
And little kids bring on big laughs. See how these grade schoolers show off their personalities to perform.
Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Daniel Bartholomew.
And I'm Callan Klein. The legal process is underway for those accused of the involvement in the recent Best Buy theft ring.
Because some of the accused are current college students, they will face consequences both in court and on campus. Reporter Catherine Anderson tells us how university officials handle crimes and violations.
12 people are charged in stealing $150,000 worth of merchandise from this Best Buy. The majority of them are either previous or current MSUM or NDSU students. As representatives to the community, what kind of repercussions could they be facing at their colleges?
The Judicial Affairs Officer at MSUM, Ashley Atterbury, handles on- and off-campus violations.
Our policies largely focus on on-campus behavior, but there's 5 areas for behavior that happens off-campus that the university will address. And felony level behavior is one of those things that the university will address.
The current students could face written warnings, disciplinary probation, suspension, or expulsion depending on their level of involvement in the theft ring. The disciplinary actions decided by the schools are separate from those decided by the court systems. Among the 12 accused are 2 NDSU football players and 1 MSUM football player who are now kicked off of their teams.
Court dates have been set for all the men charged in the case. This is Catherine Anderson reporting, Campus News.
MSUM says that the suspension of offensive lineman Anthony Sands will be re-evaluated at the end of the semester. Candidates hoping to become the next president of North Dakota State University are taking a first-hand look at the campus that one of them will soon call home. Former Texas A&M Vice President of Student Affairs, Dean Brashani, is the first of 4 candidates to visit campus. Brashani told a packed auditorium the student focus of NDSU is very appealing to him. The audience also got a chance to ask questions of their potential president and his plans for the school. Many faculty members, alumni, and a few students came to hear what he had to say.
All of his talk was bringing new programs and new passion and, bringing more students and bringing more enthusiasm to the university.
Brashani talked with audience members before meeting with the student government and touring the Research and Technology Park. Gary Miller of Wichita State University also toured the campus yesterday. Bill Root of Shippensburg University will be on campus this Tuesday, and Jog Gardner of Washington State University will visit on Friday. Each of the candidates spends 2.5 days visiting campus.
North Dakota State University is facing a possible loss of 2 programs because of the closing of Fargo's Cardinal Mensch Seminary next year. The seminary currently employs 4 faculty members who teach philosophy and classical language courses at NDSU. To save the programs, the university says it would cost $200,000 annually in salaries and benefits. Officials are working to keep as many Greek and Latin courses as possible.
Students thinking about attending Concordia College can now visit the campus right from their home.
Concordia recently gave their website an extreme makeover. Reporter Kimberly Cresson has more.
Welcome to Concordia. Let's take a look around.
Concordia has created a virtual tour that features 5 different tour guides who lead you through campus, stopping at various buildings and points of interest along the way.
The bell tower is a really important symbol of what we stand for.
Roger Dagerman, the Senior Director for Communications and Marketing, says the idea is to let current students show their flavor of campus to potential students.
We want to entice people to actually take a closer look at Concordia.
Dagerman says the virtual tour is not meant to replace on-campus visits, but to provide more reasons for students to visit in person.
They did a really nice job of showing what they needed to show without, being over excessive.
Within the first 4 days of the tour's debut, people from 42 states and several countries were already watching the tour.
Concordia makes it so easy to get involved with something you care about.
Kimberly Cresson, Campus News.
It took about 6 months and a team of more than a dozen people to make the tour a reality, but Concordia is hopeful that the new look will turn into new recruits. A website created by 3 MSU Moorhead alums started as a silly and fun way to morph your portrait into an old yearbook photo. Now they are in the running for the internet's highest honor. Their website, yearbookyourself.com, is nominated for a 2010 Webby Award for the best use of social media and a Webby's People Choice Award. Their site has received millions of hits since its creation in 2008, when it also won a People's Choice Award. For one university, canceling classes means giving students a chance to shine.
Reporter Tara Kramer shows us how some students are stepping into the spotlight.
Playing with robots may not seem like your average research project, but for one student, the little machines are more than just toys.
Here we helped out at Horizon Middle School with getting a robotics team started there. They had 4 months to prepare before we went to a competition at UND. You can see different obstacles and such that they have to navigate in order to get points.
Ruck Dashel is just one of the many students here who are given the opportunity to show off their hard work. Each year, the students and faculty of MSU Moorhead put together the Student Academic Conference at the Comstock Memorial Union.
It is a lot of fun, and a lot of fun to actually look at other people's projects and activities and programs that they've paid attention to throughout the academic year.
Organizers say this year's Student Academic Conference was a success. For students like Ruck Dashel, it was the chance to finally have their work recognized.
We like it because we're kind of stuck on a corner of the campus and not many people get to see what we do, and this lets a lot of people see what we do.
Tara Kramer, Campus News.
Professor Andrew Conte and his former student assistant started the Student Academic Conference in 1998. Minnesota State University Moorhead celebrated its new early education center with your not-too-typical open house. Students, parents, and kids of all ages came to the event to see the Scholastic Book Fair, the new daycare, and Scorch the Dragon at the recently finished building. The modern center provides daily daycare services and teaches education majors how to work with aspiring students. Education majors agreed that the children's program is more than a success.
It's cool, man. It's awesome. It's really good for him. It's way better than like regular daycare.
The Early Education Center provides daycare services throughout the semester. The local barber shop has always been a place for a quick cleanup and some good conversation.
Reporter Nathan Matson shows us his experience at the school where students train to trim.
We're here today at the Molnar Barber College of Hairstyling in Fargo, North Dakota, and as you can see, I'm looking pretty shaggy.
And I have one goal today, to leave this place looking not too shabby.
The Barber College has been here, it's been in existence since 1923. It was at a different location. It was on Main Avenue, and then it moved over here in 1964, and it's been here ever since.
It's the only barber college in the state of North Dakota.
All right.
And today, it's a real treat for me because I'm getting a haircut.
Ready to go backwards?
Yeah.
Right.
And an old-style shave from one of a dozen students in the college. Here, the clipper is king, and learning how to properly trim a beard is taken very seriously.
Married, Jack?
Taper looks real good.
The Molnar Barber College is a 10-month, hands-on trade school where students clock hours, just like they would working on the floor of a real barber shop.
You ever get a bad haircut from here?
Once I did, yeah. Not good when you hear the barber go, oops.
They also come face-to-face with another reality of the job, becoming a sponge for people's personal...
That's a big no-no.
...and sometimes political viewpoints.
You can be a Republican for one haircut, and the next haircut you can be a Democrat.
The Molnar Barber College of Hairstyling is a small club of men and women, sharpening their skills and giving the public maybe the last place in Fargo to get an $8 haircut.
Not too shabby, right?
Students at the Molnar Barber College say they don't have to worry too much about these tough economic times. They have 100% job placement. A billboard in downtown Fargo is the canvas for a new art project. What do graphite, bamboo, and a billboard share in common? Michael Namkung, a visiting artist from San Francisco, has an idea. Each is an element in his new art project. Slowly, he will cover the billboard with graphite and film every second of the process. The downtown billboard faces the opposite way of traffic, but that hasn't slowed down his creative drive.
The goal is just to saturate the surface. It's an effort to fight monotony. In a couple hours, I'll probably just, sometimes you just move it slower, and it's not really drawing things, it's just kind of laying it all down.
The final goal is to project the time-lapse video back on the billboard to reveal the finished work. Nam Kung will be presenting his work on Thursday in the Memorial Union on the NDSU campus.
A researcher at North Dakota State University is racing against time to save a species of fish. Reporter Adam Bryn has more about a rare fish found in only a few spots around the world.
The Mojave tui-chub is an endangered species. They are a native fish from California, and one researcher at NDSU wants to prevent their extinction. Sujan Henkanathegra is a conservationist who came from the other side of the world to study the desert fish.
I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I love fish. Our goal is to downlist it under threatened fish. So in order to do that, we have to establish a couple more populations.
Right now, there are only a few places for these fish in Southern California. They are at MC Spring, Lake Tuende, and Camp Katy. Their original habitat is infested with predators, and Sujan says these fish play an important role in an aquatic ecosystem.
I want to see whether there's a significant impact of mosquito fish for these fish, and also I'm looking at whether they can coexist with each other.
The mosquito fish is a big threat because they are very aggressive. They eat everything, eggs and small fish. Sujan says it is going to be challenging to reintroduce the Mojave fish to its home because there are 20 other invasive species lurking in the water. For these fish, this researcher may be their last and best hope for existence. Adam Bryn, Campus News.
Sujan says mosquito fish are such a serious predator because people use the fish to reduce mosquito populations. He says they are causing more harm than good.
Students at MSU Moorhead relaxed outside to learn about the environment and celebrate Earth Day. The event featured live music, free food, and lots of sunshine. But the day was also about letting students know about how they can help protect the Earth.
College students are really important to hit because we're the younger generation, and past generations have just let this problem go, and I think we need to fix it now.
Student groups committed to environmental causes urged others to get involved. This year marked the 40th anniversary of the first Earth Day. Since then, it has become an annual celebration on campuses nationwide. North Dakota State University is home to one of the longest-lasting sheep herds in the country.
Now its sheep research facility is hunting for a new specialist. Alex Clydesdale has more about the sheep barn and its growing family.
An NDSU graduate, Steven Anderson, also known as Skip, grew up in a small town in Wisconsin on his family's sheep farm. So if anyone's used to this noise, it would be Skip.
It's just been one of those things that I grew up with and have just totally enjoyed it. I've met a lot of great friends through the sheep business, and it's been a hobby, and it's been a personal business, and now it's a job.
Every day, Skip takes care of his sheep. Their daily diet is an important part of keeping the sheep healthy.
They're on a corn grain diet, which is approximately 14% protein, and they're given 2 pounds per animal per day.
Skip says he's excited to work with a new specialist so they can share the workload just a little more.
Well, we're looking forward to getting a specialist here. We can continue to move our program ahead.
The specialist will have the duty of sharing NDSU's research with sheep farmers throughout the state. Looking for the specialist is a job the head of the department is taking very seriously.
Our requirement is really kind of an extensive sheep background, sheep production background, as well as knowledge of the sheep industry. So if they don't meet that minimum, we're probably not going to look at them in terms of a candidate.
With only 2 full-time employees and over 600 mouths to feed, a new team member would really help.
We'll work together for developing the program here, continuing with the breeding program, and moving the sheep project ahead.
Skip says the facility will continue to be a trendsetter in the sheep industry. With photographer Kelly Johnson, Alex Clydesdale, Campus News.
The sheep raised at NDSU's facility are used for research projects on campus. Many of them are also used for their wool and meat.
With the end of spring semester on many students' minds, a group of North Dakota State University students has given its thoughts and prayers to another cause. The Wallman Wellness Center and the NDSU Army and Air Force ROTC are working together to support the families who have lost soldiers overseas. All proceeds will go to the families from Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota who have lost loved ones in the war. The event offers both a team and individual 5K run, along with a quarter-mile race for the kids. The race will be held at the NDSU Wallman Wellness Center parking lot at 8:30 a.m. May 8th. Students come together to get some hands-on experience in a field that not only takes strength, but courage and trust as well.
Reporter Leslie Johnson shows us how some Minnesota State Community and Technical College students are fired up about learning.
Although this area may just look like a parking lot, within minutes students gather, setting up and getting ready for a challenge they will have to face to get a job.
Students step out of the classroom and into helmets and gloves to complete an obstacle course for their firefighter training program.
I want you standing by at the attic crawl first.
But this is no ordinary obstacle course. To become a firefighter in this area, you need to finish in under 12 minutes.
The most challenging thing is it's not just a blue-collar job. You have to be educated in the fire science and everything else. So along with getting your book work done and getting a good grasp on fire behavior and hydraulics for water flow, just the physical end of it as well.
Carrying ladders, rolling and unrolling hoses.
There you go.
And lugging around a life-size dummy.
It's like an athletic event every time you go out on a call or something like that, so you have to stay in shape, and it's something new every day, so it's not just like sitting in an office, just a different job that has a lot of rewarding benefits to it.
Get that coupling up over the wood.
Although the resume for this job may include some physical strength.
You're doing great.
You know, they make it realistic, and that gets to be a little tough because it is something you're going to actually be doing on the job.
Hard work may lead to a career these guys say is unlike any other.
Make sure you walk around the cone.
Leslie Johnson, Campus News.
The Fire Service Preparation Certificate program is made to meet the minimum requirements for most fire departments and takes 19 credits to complete. And now we hand it over to Andrew Tickey with sports.
Thanks, guys. An NDSU graduate is running for a reason, raising funds to help save a poverty-stricken family. Reporter Blair Olson tells us how a long-distance runner in Fargo is helping a family 100 marathons away.
Obviously, it's heartbreaking, and this was actually the first family that the organization called the Institute for Trafficked, Exploited, and Missing Persons.
An inexperienced runner and a God's Child Project member is now training for an upcoming marathon while keeping one unique Guatemala family in mind.
Through those interactions, I actually was introduced to this family last year when we were down there in 2009 in May, and so I remember this family just being a group of young women that the center's employees were really pulled to and really worked hard to get them out of the landfill that they were working in.
By using media and posting information on her blog, Angela has raised more than $4,000.
That's sort of been my way of giving people an inlet to what's going on and how training's going. And since then, people that have been following the blog sort of just came to me and asked if they could, do various media stories or just spread the word to their spiritual communities or friends or families.
With photographer Cole Rigg, Blair Olson, Campus News Sports.
Mather says she will continue to support the Guatemalan family through running fundraisers. Her next marathon is Saturday, May 8th in St. Cloud. The 3-day-long NFL draft has come and gone, and not one of the 255 selections were from NDSU. But that hasn't stopped a couple of Bison from getting a shot at the pros anyway. Running back Pat Bashal and offensive lineman Keith Buckman both signed free agent contracts with AFC East teams this week. Bashal, who was last season's top rusher in Division I FCS, joins the New England Patriots, looking to share the backfield with former Golden Gopher standout Lawrence Maroney. Buckman will head to the Patriots' rival, the New York Jets, to play for last season's AFC runners-up. Both made the All-Missouri Valley Conference first team last fall. Get ready to change your dial. A major mix-up in radio broadcasting rights is coming to several colleges next season. The voice of the Bison, Scott Miller, and NDSU Athletics have signed a 6-year deal with KFGO 790 AM. The Fighting Sioux, meanwhile, will now be found on WDAY 970 AM. Miller says he doesn't expect fans to have any problems adjusting to these changes.
From the UND perspective on WDAY, it's sort of a swap of stations, and I think it'll take people a little while just to get used to the fact that the Bison are now on 790, but they'll find their way to that. I think it's going to be just fine.
Also affected by these moves are Concordia College and MSU Moorhead. The Cobbers and longtime play-by-play man Larry Knutson have joined 1660 ESPN, leaving the Dragons without a radio home. Movies like Avatar and Up are starting to influence the sports world. CBS announced that the men's NCAA Final Four will be shown in 3D starting next March. The station, which recently locked up rights to the tourney through 2024, says the championship and semifinal games will be shown in 3D in up to 100 theaters across the country. Several TV stations have been experimenting with 3D sports telecasts. ESPN will be the first to broadcast a channel entirely in 3D. That's expected to launch later this year. Last week, UND and NDSU announced the renewal of their rivalry in football and volleyball. But there's another rivalry between these two schools, one that has been going strong for a quarter century. Reporter Tim Free has more.
Almost 300 riders took part in the NDSU-UND bike race to compete for their school and raise money for each campus's Newman Center. These participants were not out here just to earn bragging rights.
1 hour, 24 minutes, 3 seconds.
The winning school's Newman Center gets to hold on to this trophy until the next year's race.
This is the coveted trophy right here. It looks like UND is on here probably more than NDSU, but that's probably going to come to an end here.
These students pedaled the 33-mile course from Hillsborough to Fargo, which to some participants sounds a lot harder than it really is.
It's actually not that bad. Just find a friend and just do it. I mean, don't worry about it. Just give it your best and do what you can do.
1:37.36.
The three factors that determine the winner of the race are the number of riders, the amount of money raised by each school, and the top 20 finishing times. The school with the most points earned at the end of the race receives the trophy.
I do. I think we have them because we actually saw, when we started, we saw some UND's people coming in and we got them no problem.
Despite NDSU's confidence, the Sioux riders won the race by just 5 points to reclaim the trophy for another year. With photographers TJ Pierre, Tim Free, Campus News Sports.
The fastest time for the 33.7-mile race was just under 1 hour and 7 minutes. Guys, my math isn't very good, but that's about 33 miles an hour. That's fast.
That is fast. I am more of a four-wheel kind of girl, so props to him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. If you ask college students to talk about opera, many might describe screeching high notes and long, serious storylines. Reporter Taryn Hake tells us what one MSU Moorhead class is doing to change opinions about this classic art form.
This is opera. And so is this. Students from MSUM's opera workshop are showing off their singing and comedy skills to a packed house. This class gives singers the chance to learn respected vocal literature while introducing a new style of music to the audience in a creative way.
It shows that opera isn't so serious all the time. It shows a comic side to it, and it shows that, you know, you can use your big, beautiful voice, but you can have fun and get the crowd into it at the same time.
The 11 students use costumes, choreography, and a little bit of magic to reveal the lighter side of this genre.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me.
They perform scenes from works based on fairy tales. And the audience's reaction made it clear that opera doesn't have to be a snooze. It can also be energetic and entertaining. Taryn Hake, Campus News.
This is the 5th time MSUM has held the opera workshop class. It's available in both fall and spring semesters and is open to students of any major.
The NDSU Art Gallery is getting a taste of Costa Rica. These are not photos you would typically see at an art exhibit. They weren't taken by professionals, but by everyday people. Maria Steinhauer, an MSUM graduate, has taken her passion for photography to Costa Rica. Steinhauer gave 17 refugees a digital camera and asked them to take pictures of things they liked.
It was like celebrity aspect in them being excited about participating.
While Steinhauer was in Costa Rica, she taught participants basic concepts and principles of photography. Their photos are now part of her book entitled Through My Eyes, My Life in Costa Rica. 5th graders are learning how to make a crowd laugh with some skills they are learning from Fargo Moorhead Community Theater.
Laura Lee Lofsgaard tells us more about how these little comedians light up the stage.
Once a week, these kids meet to learn, act,
and most importantly, laugh. A couple of MSU Moorhead students who are in an improv group are teaching what they know to these young, aspiring actors.
The improv class is held at the Fargo Moorhead Community Theater, where the kids learn to think on their feet.
Just making something up off the top of your head and trying to turn it into something.
No!
Gotcha. Everybody around you just working together to form a big scene. You know what? That sounds pretty good. Okay, I'll take that.
The instructors enjoy seeing the kids grow with their acting skills and say they even see a part of themselves in their young students.
Fish are neat is what was just said, and that is a perfect example of like what they come up with, you know what I mean? It's anywhere from farts to fish to tacos.
I'll take the chicken-filled donuts.
Some of the kids see this class as one more step to help reach their dream.
I love acting because ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be something like Spider-Man. I've always dreamed of being maybe in a movie called like Little Spider-Man.
And these kids will keep working to improve their improv. With photographer Tori Halverson, Laura Lee Lofsgaard, Campus News.
The class is a 10-week program with a performance for friends and family on the final night. And that's it for this edition of Campus News, our last show of the season. We leave you with more from the Opera Workshop performance.
Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next year.
All right, you can tell me it's okay.
Now remember your promise, so don't tell, please.
Cross my heart.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the Department of Mass Communications at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.